Lettuce, and lettuce once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I'm back with vegetable of the day, the one and only lettuce. But not just any old lettuce, ladies and gentlemen. It is the one and only iceberg lettuce. So, maybe you love it, maybe you hate it. Maybe you're thinking about going on a ketogenic diet. Well, whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on why, because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of iceberg lettuce. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. So a lot of us are probably wondering, Coach D, what in the world is iceberg lettuce? Well, guys, here we go. Iceberg lettuce is a type of lettuce known for its mild flavor and crisp texture. It has a pale green color, as you can clearly see by looking at the picture, and a round head that closely resembles other lettuce varieties such as cabbage. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is very possible that you can easily confuse iceberg lettuce for cabbage and vice versa, but always remember, okay, that when attempting to differentiate iceberg lettuce from cabbage, just kind of remember the color, okay? Generally speaking, the lettuce will be a more pale green and the cabbage will be a darker green. So there we have it, guys, a little bit of background information about the one and only cabbage. I'm sorry, lettuce. All right, more background information. Now, if you've ever grown your own lettuce, then you probably know what I'm talking about. For those of us who have never attempted to grow lettuce, well, please listen up. Once the head has formed, you can begin to harvest the lettuce. That's right. So the moment you see that bald, round head of lettuce in the center of the plant, go ahead, cut it, chop it up, and eat it. However, here's something that you need to know. Harvesting before the head bolts or a flowering stalk appears is key to prevent the plant from developing an unpleasant, bitter taste. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about lettuce bolting or developing a flowering stalk, really what we're talking about is the lettuce simply growing. It's maturing. That's all. And if you're wondering what it looks like for a head of lettuce to bolt or to develop a flowering stalk, guys, just look at the picture, right? I mean, no longer is the center of the lettuce plant bald and round. It's now developing into a flowering stalk. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever happen to grow lettuce, okay, you want to make sure that you harvest the bald round head before it begins to grow. So there we have it, guys, a little more background information about the one and only iceberg lettuce. All right, now it's time for a few fun facts. Why is lettuce keto friendly? Now that's a really good question, because apparently the ketogenic diet has become very, very popular. So people want to know. It says here that iceberg lettuce has a crisp, crunchy texture that also works well as a substitute for burger buns and wraps to cut the carb content of your favorite recipes. Now, take a look at the picture. Here is a lettuce wrap. That's right, guys. So here's something that we have to understand about a ketogenic diet is that, generally speaking, a ketogenic diet is one where you limit your carbohydrates from as low as 20 grams to as much as 50 grams per day. Now, one of the things that you can do in order to facilitate that very low carbohydrate intake is to replace all buns and all wraps with, let's say, lettuce. That's right. Now, obviously, the taste is going to be different. The texture is going to be different from that of bread. but at least you're not getting in those quote unquote dreaded carbohydrates. So there we have it, guys. A few fun facts about the one and only iceberg lettuce. All right, now it's time for the not so fun facts. With all the iceberg lettuce recalls constantly being announced, such as the 2019 salad recall, many people wonder, is iceberg lettuce safe? Well, let's find out. Unlike other foods, iceberg lettuce is almost always consumed raw. That's right, guys, which increases the risk of foodborne illnesses. However, cooking can help kill off many harmful pathogens. Bagged and pre-cut produce is at a higher risk of contamination, which is why it's often preferable to opt for loose leaf lettuce instead. So there we have it, guys. Is iceberg lettuce safe? Well, you make the call, okay? But keep in mind that whenever you consume any food raw, particularly fruits and vegetables, you definitely want to make sure that when you get them home that you wash them off. Remember, not only may they contain harmful pathogens, but there also may be a little bit of dirt, some of this and some of that. So please wash all of your produce. That way it's clean and it's more beneficial and less harmful. So there we have it, guys, the not so fun facts about iceberg lettuce. All right, more not so fun facts. Some people may also be allergic to lettuce, which can cause severe symptoms, including anaphylaxis. Now, for those of us that are wondering what in the world is anaphylaxis, well, ladies and gentlemen, it is simply an allergic reaction that is characterized by a swelling of the eyes, nose, and the mouth. That's right. If you ever experience any adverse side effects after eating lettuce, discontinue consumption immediately and talk to your doctor. Now, of course, we never want to negate all of the health benefits and the nutrient content of lettuce. So rather than completely eliminating it from your diet after you talk to your doctor, find out if it's okay for you to maybe reduce it as opposed to eliminating it. Why, you may ask? Well, once again, lettuce is a plant food that you will see in a little while contains lots and lots of nutrients, which in turn cause many health benefits. So if you completely eliminate it from your eating style, then yes, you are going to lose out on the nutrients and the health benefits. So once again, if you have any type of allergic reaction after eating lettuce, always consult with your doctor and figure out how much your body can actually tolerate before you completely eliminate. So there we have it, guys. More not so fun facts about iceberg lettuce. All right, it's now time to dive into the 5-20 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about food labels. That's right, it's a guide. It's a guide that helps us understand whether or not any particular food or beverage item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, when we talk about the 5-20 rule, really we're talking about percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our sample food label. As you can see, there are 3 main parts: purple, yellow, and blue. So let's talk about it part by part by part. First is the purple section, which really is a column entitled percent daily value. Now, as you can see, percent daily value is represented as a percentage. So yes, there is a scale with as low as 0% to as high as 100%. Now, there are some very rare cases where a food or beverage item may yield a percent DV greater than 100%. But keep in mind that is rare. Okay, now let's talk about the yellow part. The yellow part basically highlights a few nutrients which unfortunately cause sickness, illness, and disease within the body temple. So say hello to saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you eat or drink something and it contains any of these four harmful nutrients, then you probably want to make sure that the percent DV is as close to 0% as possible. Now, let's talk about the blue nutrients, such as dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron. Now, rather than promote sickness, illness, and disease within the body temple, these nutrients, on the other hand, promote health and wellness within the human body. So, the next time you eat or drink something, just make sure that those percent DVs are as close to 100% as possible. Now, what I want to do next is explain the 520 rule just a little more. Give it a few more details. Guys, if a food or beverage item contains 0% to 9% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is considered not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if a food or beverage item contains 10% to 19% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is considered a good source of that nutrient. Lastly, if the food or beverage item contains 20% DV or greater, then that food or beverage item is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 520 rule. All right, now it's time to dive into the nutrition facts of the one and only iceberg lettuce. So for today's lecture, we're going to simply say that 1 cup, which is approximately 72 grams, of shredded iceberg lettuce is a single serving. That's right. So here's what we're going to get in a single serving, which is 1 cup of iceberg lettuce. Only 10.1 calories. Now, take a look at this. 2.3 grams of carbohydrates. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the true reason why iceberg lettuce is keto-friendly. Notice that the carbohydrate content is extremely low. You're only going to get 2.3 grams per cup. That's right. So for those of us who are on a ketogenic diet where we're limiting our carbohydrate consumption to 20 to 50 grams per day, guys, iceberg lettuce is perfect. Next, it's going to offer 0.6 grams of protein, which of course is going to help strengthen our immune system. It's going to help us build muscle mass, right? And it's going to have 0.1 grams of fat, 0.9 grams of dietary fiber. I love this. Why? Because plant foods are pretty much the only foods that offer both protein and fiber at the same time. Now, fiber is amazing. Why? Because it's nature's plumber. That's right. Now let's take a look at the vitamin and mineral content. Next up is vitamin K coming in at 22% DV. Excellent source. Vitamin A coming in at only 7% DV. Not a good source. Folate 5% DV. Not a good source. Manganese coming in at only 4% DV. Not a good source. And lastly is vitamin C and potassium, each coming in at only 3% DV. Not a good source. So there we have it, guys, the nutrition facts about the one and only iceberg lettuce. All right, it's now time to dive into the health benefits. But before we do, I want to offer you this. Guys, at this point in time, I want to talk with you about the principle of cause and effect, which basically states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. Now the question is, how do we apply the principle of cause and effect to our daily diets? Well, guys, it basically goes something like this. That food offers nutrients, right? And once those nutrients enter our bodies, well, we get the effect, which are the health benefits. So when it comes to the health benefits, not only do I want to tell you how these plant foods are great for us, but then what's more important is that we know what's the cause, which ultimately is medicine, or we can use the word phytonutrient. So health benefit number 1 is that it promotes weight loss. Well, once again, iceberg lettuce is very, very low in calories. Remember, we just talked about the nutrition facts, right? So for those of us that are looking to lose a little bit of weight, it's easy. Eat more iceberg lettuce. Benefit number 2, keeps bones strong. Well, what's the cause? What's the medicine? What's the phytonutrient? Well, say hello to vitamin K. Benefit number 3, it's keto friendly. Remember, guys, we just went over the nutrition facts, and we already know that lettuce, but specifically iceberg lettuce, is keto friendly. Why? Because it has a low carb content. Why? Because remember, based on the nutrition facts, it offers 2.3 grams per cup, which, by the way, is a single serving. And health benefit number 4 is that it supports eye health, right? So the question is, what's the cause? What's the medicine? What's the phytonutrient responsible for this? Well, guys, there are 2 vitamins, vitamin A and vitamin C. So there we have it, guys, the health benefits of the one and only iceberg lettuce. All right, now it's time to talk about food. Yes, plant foods. Guys, say hello to forksoverknives.com. This is our website for everything vegan. Now, as usual, I logged onto the site. By the way, there is a movie, so if you ever have time, actually make the time, watch the movie. Now, I went to the site, forksoverknives.com, did just a little bit of research, and I came across 2 amazingly delicious vegan lettuce recipes that I want to share with you right now. So the first one is black bean corn and roasted red pepper lettuce cups. Take a look at the picture. It looks delicious, yes. The second recipe is butter lettuce and green pea salad. Take a look at that picture. Looks delicious, yes. Now, here's the thing. If your mouth is watering and or you're interested in making and tasting these amazing, delicious, nutritious dishes, then just click on the description box. Why? Because I'm giving you a link to each recipe. That's right, guys. Click on the link. Now, you're going to find a lot of great information, such as an ingredient list, videos, pictures, and maybe even instructions. Now, please do me a favor. Click on the link. Make the dish, taste the dish, come back to the video and share your thoughts. So there we have it. Not 1, but 2 deliciously looking lettuce vegan recipes from forksoverknives.com. All right. 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the fun facts, the not so fun facts, and the nutrition facts. But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more iceberg lettuce? Right? Well, guys, the perfect day to eat more iceberg lettuce is Nature Day. That's right, guys, Nature Day. Now, here's what we need to know about Nature Day. Actually, there's a lot we need to know. So let's go bit by bit. Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge, which, by the way, is a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, and your relationships. Now, as far as the challenge is concerned, well, we need to understand this. Number 1, it's monthly, and number 2, it's only 7 days. That's right. So being that the challenge is the first 7 days of every month, and Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, well, I guess that means that Nature Day is the first day of every month. That's right. So, what does this mean? It simply means that October 1st, November 1st, and December 1st, they're all Nature Day. All right. So, a lot of us may want to know, Coach D, what is the point of Nature Day? I mean, what is it all about? Well, guys, in a nutshell, Nature Day is simply eating more plants. That's really what it's all about. Eat more plants. That's our 3-word mantra. Now, I'm going to offer you a few options that hopefully you'll receive. Now, as far as eating more plants is concerned, for some people, it could be easy. For others, it can be rather difficult. So why don't we try this? How about before 12 p.m., you only eat plants and drink only water? Therefore, after 12 p.m., you can eat and drink whatever you want. Now, if before 12 p.m. doesn't work for you, then how about after 12 p.m., right? That way, you got 12 hours to eat as many plant foods and drink as much water as you possibly can. Now, for those of us who think 12 hours is too little, then you may want to up the ante. And you may want to try to become a 3% vegan, which simply means you pick one day out of an entire month to eat only plant foods. Or you can try to become a 10% vegan, which means you pick any 3 days over the course over a month, and you only eat plant foods and drink only water. That's it. 3 days. Next up is a 17% vegan. Now that's any person, man, woman, or child who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 5 days out of an entire month. And lastly is the ultimate 23% vegan. Now that's any person, man, woman, or child who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 7 days out of an entire month. Now technically that's what Coach D considers himself to be, right? So what does that mean? It means that for the first 7 days of every month, I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods, which happen to be fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, legumes, meaning beans and peas, and let's not forget about whole grains. So there we have it, guys. The ins and outs about Nature Day. All right. Now, a lot of us may still be wondering, should I participate in Nature Day? I mean, I do know when it is. I do know what I'm supposed to eat, right? But is it really for me? Well, let's find out. So maybe you are experiencing some physical health problems. Maybe you have the big 4, meaning heart disease, cancer, obesity, and diabetes. Maybe you have skin issues, such as eczema, psoriasis, pimples, and acne. Maybe you have digestive issues, such as constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, or leaky gut syndrome. Or maybe you have mental issues, such as sadness and depression and bipolarity. Or maybe you're just angry and pissed off all the time. And so at this point in your life, you're looking for a holistic, natural approach to your healing. Well, guys, it's easy. Eat more plants. Maybe you want to change the way in which your body appears to other people, but namely to yourself, right? So maybe you want to lose some inches from your hips and waist, or maybe you want to add on a little bit of lean muscle mass, right? So try our vegan lean and vegan bulk programs. Or maybe you're just looking to transition, right, from the standard American diet to a more whole food plant-based diet. Or maybe you just want to eat more plants, right? Well, guys, if you meet any of those descriptions, then yes, Nature Day is definitely for you. All right. Now, I want to offer Coach D's tips. Why? Because I want you to be successful on your Nature Day. So tip number 1. Go to your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're going to go to one of 3 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Number 2 is the freezer aisle. And number 3 is the canned good aisle. Now, the question is, what's best? Fresh, frozen, or canned? Well, guys, I'll put them in this order. First is fresh. Second is frozen. And third is canned. Now, why is canned last? Well, it's easy. During the canning process, many of the nutrients are lost, and at the same time, many toxins are added. So, by the time you eat the food, you may be ingesting more toxins than you do nutrients. So that is why I always place canned foods in dead last. Tip number 2, go to the prepared dishes section of your local grocery store. So once you're done with the produce aisle, the freezer aisle, and the canned good aisle, right, walk on over to where they have already prepared the foods for you. Talk to the person standing behind the counter and ask them if they have any plant-based or vegan options. If they do and it's unfamiliar to you, then just ask for a quick sample. Don't worry, it's free. Now, if you like it, go ahead, buy it by the pound, maybe even 2, maybe even 3 pounds if you really, really, really like it. Tip number 3, go visit your local farmer's market. Now, this is for those of us who don't necessarily like GMOs and we must have organic this and organic that. Well, guys, farmers markets are definitely the place to be. Why? Because they primarily cater to the non-GMO market. That's right. If you're looking for organic produce, then please go to your local farmers market. Tip number 4, go visit your local vegan restaurant. That's right. Now, some of us may not even know that vegan restaurants exist. Well, I'm here to let you know that they actually do. Here's the good news. They do a really good job at hiring vegan chefs. And the vegan chefs know exactly how to prepare plant foods. And they also know which plant foods to combine to yield the most nutritious, delicious dishes. So, the next time you're hungry, please do a little research and go visit your local vegan restaurant. Tip number 5, get a subscription to a vegan meal prep company. Now, this is for those of us who complain that we don't have time to cook plant foods, that we don't know how to cook plant foods, or maybe we just don't want to cook plant foods, right? Well, nothing wrong with that. I say let somebody else do the cooking for you. So here's how it works. Give them a call, right? Get a subscription, right? They make the food, they deliver the food, you eat the food. It's just that simple. So there you have it, guys. 5 tips to help make your nature day successful. All right, it's time for our question of the day, which comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation. We want to know, is lettuce keto friendly? Now, I believe I covered this information earlier in the lecture. So if you got it, great. Please write your answer in the comment box below. If you didn't get it, well, just simply hit rewind. And of course, still type your answer in the comment box below. Well, guys, I want to thank you for listening, and I definitely want to thank you for watching. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Number 4, I sign out. I got to ask you to please subscribe, share, comment, and like the video. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's #EatMorePlants, right? And do it especially if you love iceberg lettuce. As stated before, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.